de suite sur TCM, Alec Guinness incarne un Führer en très mauvaise posture dans les 10 derniers jours d'Hitler.
This is CAAN, the dazzling luxury resort on the French Riviera. Once a year, CAAN takes on a special look and becomes the center of the motion picture world with its spectacular international film festival. For Sean Connery, who is usually seen on the screen as the adventure-loving James Bond, this festival brings a new kind of off-screen adventure. There's a roaring reception and ovation for Connery, an ovation that continues for his first major dramatic motion picture being shown at Cannes. The film takes him from the world of 007 to the stark reality of a British prison camp. The picture is called The Hill.
See that hill?
I noticed it as I came in.
We built it special. A few tons of sand and rock and a lot of labor and sweat. Something tells me you're going to get in very well. It's hot on that hill. Hot.
The road that brought The Hill and Sean Connery to acclaim at Cannes was long and arduous. It started quietly enough about a year ago at the pleasant Spanish town of Almeria on the Mediterranean. That's where producer Kenneth Hyman assembled an international cast and crew for this Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer 7 Arts presentation. In the casual, colorful world of Almeria, there wasn't much suggestion of the grueling adventure that the 800-man company would live through when they moved out to the location area. As you head toward the outskirts of Almeria, the breeze is no longer cool. The sun beats down harshly. Living things become scarce. Then you enter a brutal baked waste, abandoned and unvisited for centuries. Temperatures soared to 120 degrees. On this broiling desert, a massive 20-acre set was ingeniously raised. In this scorching setting, The Hill was brought to life. Sidney Lumet tells of the hardships.
The physical hardship of the actual shooting is something that coincides with the physical hardship that's necessary in the film. And through it all, the caked sand, the windstorms that would be going on while we were shooting, the cracks in the lips, those were all for real.
Sidney Lumet was the brilliant young director of The Hill.
The Hill is the story of 5 men in the British Army. They had their own messing up in the Army itself. They've either been thieves or AWOLs or broken regulations in some way. And they have been sent to a British detention camp in the Middle East. Sean Connery plays a character by the name of Joe Roberts, who is no hero in any conventional sense. He's a man who's in that prison for having beaten the hell out of his officer. His part in The Hill involves the biggest chunk of acting that he's ever bitten off.
Connery speaks of the tough location.
We made The Hill as it would be in real life. We set up a camera on a crane and we started up running the 5 of us, which would be the ritual, and just kept running and running.
The picture is called The Hill for a very specific reason. Basic punishment, once any sort of prison regulation has been broken, is going up and down the hill in full field pack in the desert until you drop.
We had pack with and kit bag boots and webbing equipment and tin helmet and everything. I suppose it was about 40 pounds. I believe that we lost weight.
Others lost weight too. Kenneth Hyman was one of them.
I think maybe the toughest part of a producer's job is getting a good project off the ground. It took almost 2 years to convince various and sundry people The Hill had an enormous potential as a film. The labor and construction problems were difficult and exhausting. We needed tremendous heat. We needed tremendous sun. We built an oasis in the center of our compound, and we had to truck in approximately 22,000 gallons of water. The authentic physical hardships contributed enormously to the realism of the film, the mood, the feeling of the desert, and the hardships that these men did have to undergo.
Connery's got, when he's called upon to use it, an inviolable sense of truth when he's really acting. There's a kind of sheer maleness on that screen that nobody has seen for a very, very long time.
On your feet and you listen. No, you listen! 3 bloody years in the desert, people are here fighting underpaid gunmen, that's who we are.
We're both regulars.
You'd prop up dead men and inspect them if you was ordered to. You're right. All I know is that I can't do things that don't make sense to me anymore. You can still live by the book. But it's outdated, stupid, and out of date.
There were breaks between the tension of tough, demanding scenes. Sometimes easy talk, sometimes a letter or thoughts of home. Then back to the hill.
Directing is as close to conducting an orchestra as anything else. It's a question of taking 57, 100 disparate elements, various levels of creativity and craftsmanship, and unifying them into one point of view. I found that the harder the work is, the easier the communication gets. You start picking up energy and keying from each other so that a mutual excitement develops. It goes up and back.
As the hill took shape on the Spanish desert, no one thought of awards or festivals. For 78 eventful days, there was only the sun and the searing winds and the story. The story of raw brutality and men with the courage to fight it. There had never been a more challenging location assignment. Inevitably, there were casualties to the heat. This was the price paid for realism. The unplanned payoff would come much later at CAAN. From the enthusiastic young production team of Kenneth Hyman and Sidney Lumet, the order of the day, every day, was, let's give it the good try. The stars did. Connery, Harry Andrews, Ossie Davis, Michael Redgrave, everyone did. There was thirst and ache and sweat, but no tears. In the hostile desert, they were getting what they had sacrificed months of comfortable living for, the real thing on film. When the ordeal of the hill was over, the cast and crew returned to homes on 3 continents. The desert returned to silence. The stockade, which had known so much life and drama, was dead. A Spanish scrap dealer bought it. No one is sure what he did with it. At CAAN, it didn't matter.
Tout de suite sur TCM, Alec Guinness incarne un Führer en très mauvaise posture dans les 10 derniers jours d'Hitler.
Une personne, 2 points de vue. Acteur, réalisateur. Bronco et l'impossible témoin. Dimanche 20 mai à partir de 20h45 sur TCM.
Tout de suite sur TCM, durant la guerre d'Espagne, un prêtre s'éprend d'une prostituée, l'ange pourpre avec Ava Gardner.
Lorsque la caméra se met à explorer l'envers du décor et les dessous du cinéma,
Action.
elle révèle les désirs, les espoirs et les illusions de ceux qui sont prêts à tout sacrifier pour la magie d'un rêve. Pour célébrer le festival de Cannes, TCM présente un cycle de films sur la face cachée du 7e art. Cannes, le cinéma parle du cinéma, tous les mardis de mai à partir de 20h45 sur TCM.
I read it and an interesting idea.
Remember me?
Change this and you change that and whatever and maybe it'll work. Kind of being tough. Kind of cool.
Can you dig it?
I just thought of it more or less as an opportunity to do this thing that I'd seen a lot of different people do.
I said my way.
Be the hero.
Now, what's my name?
Shaft! The original Shaft was one of those things where, you know, African Americans were going to the theater and they hadn't seen themselves that way. Now, this is a pretty straight-ahead kind of action film.
I might take you down.
The importance or the social relevance is not so great as the entertainment value itself, you know.
Crime rate is rising too. If you were hungry, what would you do?
Shaft! Who's the man who'd risk his neck for his brother man?
This kind of guy who's kind of on the edge, kind of rebellious, kind of doing things his own way, like those guys were. And I thought it would be fun to do. And it turned out to be fun.
Read my mind.
Évade-toi. Va dans les rues. Rencontre les héros de cette ville. Une ville en celluloïd, où se racontent des milliers d'histoires, où la vie défile en 24 images secondes, où les sentiments s'expriment en noir et blanc, et les rêves en technicolor, où des visages lumineux s'impriment dans ton regard, et les émotions te percutent en plein cœur. Alors, reste éveillé. Tu ne voudras plus jamais quitter cet endroit. TCM. La caméra explore l'envers du décor et la face cachée du 7e art. Notre cycle CAAN, le cinéma parle du cinéma, continue avec 12 oiseaux de jeunesse, mardi 22 mai à 20h45 sur TCM.